Hello, everybody. This is Leon from Setter's Raid. So, I got back from the work conference that I was on. I ended up having to go to a lot of different places. A lot of stuff happened, and I was not able to broadcast on Friday. I wanted to try to do some stuff. And we have, in America, we have a long weekend called Memorial Day. And today was Memorial Day, Monday. And Memorial Day is the day that you remember all the people who've passed before you, like your grandparents, your parents, and others. So today in Raid, I'm going to try something really off the wall and really goofy. Let me know in the comments if you like this idea or not. But my idea is to compare and contrast some of the champions in Raid to my grandparents. And I picked out one for each one of them. Why? And we're gonna have some fun with it. If you guys like it, awesome. I might do it, once a month or something like that. Just talk about somebody and who do they remind me of. So I am going to start with my grandfather on my dad's side. His background is he has a pure German heritage, and his when he was looking to get his first farm, he was a little short on money. I mean, he got his farm, but he's still short on money, so he used to box, and he was a Golden Gloves boxer. And he was about 5'3", 5'4", maybe 5'4", 5'5", somewhere in there. Fairly short for a man. I mean, and everybody underestimated him. But when he hit, he just shocked the hell out of people. And he was so fast and so quick, and just no one could touch him. And so he boxed Golden Gloves for many years, and he got everything. I mean, not everything. He got with his Golden Gloves, he earned enough money to help feed the family, to pay off the farm, all that kind of stuff. So he was very good at that. The other thing that he did that reminds me of Brogni, and I chose Underpriest Brogni for him. There's a lot of things. But the first thing is the L3, which has the block debuffs, increased shields, or place shields and increase attack. He was very, very protective of his kids, of his grandkids, of everybody that he loved. Like, very, very protective. And because of that, I mean, just like all other grandparents are, I'm sure they are. But my grandfather he took it to another level. When he had garden, he needed about 2 acres of garden to feed him and his family, and that's enough. He had like an 8-acre garden, and he would feed himself, his kids, his grandkids. He canned it all. He did all that work. Not just him, my grandmother too, but he pushed the effort. He led the effort to do that, and it was a big deal. And it kind of reminds me of this, just constantly going out and protecting and taking care of everybody else. As I said before, you wouldn't know it by looking at him, but he could hit hard. And not only did he hit hard, and it wasn't just with his fists that he hit hard, he also hit hard with his words, with his actions, with everything that he did. It made everybody else around him better. It wasn't the kind of thing where, look at me, look at me, look at me. It was always for the betterment of the people around him. He quit Golden Gloves boxing as soon as he had enough money to pay off the farm, and he was able to do it without the extra money. And it wasn't that he hated boxing. Heck, we watched boxing every Saturday and Sunday when we could with them. He loved watching it. He enjoyed it. He talked about it all the time. But he did it to help others. So I really feel Underpriest really fit him very well. And then the last thing, You never attacked him. You never went after him. No one ever did. And the reason they didn't is, once again, the passive here, he would reflect most of that back at you. Don't you dare throw rocks when you live in a glass house. And he was the kind of guy that he knew what was going on. He knew everybody. He knew everything that was out and about. He never said anything. But if you attacked him or one of his kids or his grandkids or anybody else, he made sure that you knew about it and kind of regretted what you said, using your own words against yourself. So that was my grandfather on my dad's side. The grandfather on my mom's side, I compare to Scissorin. And the reason for that is my grandfather on that side, he used to always play cards with us. Always. And everything that he did when we played cards, he would travel down 3 hours to come and play cards with us for a weekend. And we would start on Friday night and we would not stop playing. I'm not kidding. We would not stop playing until Sunday when he left at like 8 o'clock at night. We'd stay up till 3 in the morning and then be up at 6 in the morning ready to play cards again. And it was great. And he always set us up we played a game called Smear, 10-point Smear. I don't know if many people know it, but think of it like 500. If you've ever played the card game 500, you bid, and then once you got the bids out, then you collected cards and you tried to guess how many tricks you can take. Well, he always did his best to set you up to set the other team, and he wanted to make sure that you set him, not him. And he did a lot of things. So, all the moves from Scissorin are all about helping his teammates set the other guy, to sack the other guy and make it harder on the other guy to recover. And it just, first time I saw it, I just thought, that's my grandfather. He really did that. He did that well. And he was a very special guy to me. I think 3/4 of the reason I'm doing this video right now, 3/4 of the reasons I share my life, share things that happened to me going on. The reason I like doing what I'm doing is because of him. That's the kind of guy he was. And if my grandkids came up and said that this was me, I would be honored. My grandmother on my mom's side, the one married to Scissorin, I would compare her to Mariska. And the reason I would compare her to Mariska, first off, Mariska, she does a lot of great things, and one of her big things is that she, on her A2, removes all the debuffs. My grandmother was a nurse, and whenever somebody come in hurt, whenever somebody would do something, she would take care of you. Or actually, it's her A3 that removes it, isn't it? No, it's her A2. Or no, A3 removes all debuffs. She would care for you. She would take care of you. And she worked about 1.5 miles away from her house, and she would walk to work every day. My grandfather insisted on taking her, and she wouldn't get in the car. She would just start walking. She wanted to walk. She did it to keep herself in good shape. She did a lot of stuff to stay alive. And as I said, she did a lot of things that were just awesome. And then also, she just, every morning for breakfast, she made blueberry pancakes. And it was just magnificent. It was awesome to be able to go and always have the blueberry pancakes. That A2, giving yourself the health back. That's what it was like. And not only would she do that, but because she was a Depression era person, she would go pick her own blueberries. So she'd go out to the state forest, find the blueberry bushes, and spend days, not hours, days picking blueberries. So that way she would have enough blueberries to make blueberry pancakes all year round. and not spend any money on it. That's the kind of person she was. It wasn't that she was thrifty. She was, but she wanted to make sure she had it. She wanted to make sure that there was no possibility of her not being able to make pancakes for her child or her grandchildren. So, and then when she was together with my, she's together with my grandfather. They were such a great team. I mean, they just, Grandpa always cared about everybody, everything, took care of everybody. Grandma was always the caretaker to make sure that, your wounds and everything were taken care of. You grew up in an environment that was absolutely full of love, and everything was shared. So I love this. This whole thing really represents my grandma on my mom's side. And the last one, I know this one's going to seem a little silly, but my grandmother on my dad's side is Acrizia. She was the single strongest woman I've ever met. She was in her 90s. Grandpa was far gone, and my grandmother was out picking apples out of an apple tree in the orchard. When I say orchard, I mean 10, 12 trees. I'm not talking one tree. She was climbing trees at 90 years old, picking apples. The kids saw her and were yelling at her to get out of the tree, and she's like, "Shut up, I've been doing this for years, I know what I'm doing." And she picked all 12 trees, got all the apples, she would separate them. She was just a workhorse. She had a huge garden, and I mentioned my grandfather with the garden. He was responsible for the vegetable garden. She had a flower garden that was probably 2 to 4 acres large. Just enormous flower garden. And she took care of it by herself all the time. Not a single weed in that garden. And she did a great job. She bred her own irises. She made whatever she could. But the thing that was really great about her, more than anything else, is she was very self-sufficient. She didn't need anybody to help her. Just like Acrizia. Acrizia puts out the decreased difference herself. She puts the shield on herself. She sets herself up to hit super hard. Stealing turn meter. Come on. Yeah. That was my grandmother. That was my grandma on my dad's side. Just very self-sufficient, super hardworking. Between her and Grandpa, you were well taken care of. Grandpa made sure all your needs were taken care of. And Grandma she just showed you how hard to work and how to work and what to do. So, this isn't really a huge raid video. We will be doing a huge raid video tomorrow. Tomorrow I've got a bunch of equipment that I need to get cleaned up. And so tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit about cleanup and equipment cleanup and how I go about doing it. I'd love some of your guys' suggestions. But if you like this episode, a tribute on Memorial Day, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think of it. If you don't like it, I get it. This is way off the course of something that's normal. But it's really cool. So thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys later. And you guys have a great day. Bye.